Alright, so my countdown of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 continues, and now we're on my review for Thor. Now, there's gonna be spoilers in this review, so if you have not seen the movie, you may not want to watch this video, so that is your warning. Now, this is where the Marvel Cinematic Universe really goes into different places, where we go somewhere entirely different. And we're like on a different, basically a different different planet, and we have gods now, and like here, I mean, like compared to Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk, this felt a little bit more grounded because Thor is a god, and it's pretty freaking amazing. I mean, I didn't really have any high hopes or anything. I had a pretty good feeling I was gonna like the movie, but I ended up liking it a bit more than I thought I would. And his time on Asgard, like in the beginning of the movie before his powers were taken away, I enjoyed that. And I enjoyed his time on Earth where he feels so isolated, and he's like he's so where it's different here than it is back at home. And they're just like, what is wrong with this guy? He's such a buffoon. And it's just funny, like when him trying to get back to the hammer and back to getting his hammer back, and when he finally gets to the compound, he gets to the hammer, and that's where it starts to get really serious for him, and it's not funny anymore. It's just that's where his punishment really hits him in the gut, where he cannot lift the hammer. And then we have Loki, who's back on Asgard, and then it's basically going it's all falling into place for him, where basically, Thor gets himself, casted out, and Loki secretly let the Frost Giants in, in the Asgard, and he tricks them into thinking that he's gonna let them kill Odin, and then he ends up killing them to earn the respect and saying, "Yeah, Loki's king" or whatever. And then we find out that Loki is half Frost Giant, or he's basically a hybrid where he's half Frost Giant and half God, something else or whatever. But we know that Laffy is his father, and so. I'm pretty sure that was not in the comics. I'm pretty sure they changed that for the movie, and I think people did not. I think comic book geeks were okay with it, and people who just like movies in general were just like, "Oh, good twist." But yeah, this was a pretty good movie. Like I had to watch it again to appreciate, where we see a powerless Thor through the good chunk of the movie. I mean, it's good development, where he basically has to see the error of his ways and basically earn back his powers. And when he does, it's a very powerful moment. But when I first watched it, I was like, yeah, I mean, this is good, but I kind of wanted to see more of Thor. Basically, I mean, that's what people. Oh, I know we see that in the trailers where he lost his powers, but I think a good chunk of people wanted to go see Thor, doing crazy shit with his hammer and doing shit like that, and we do get that. And the other movies that come after this do make up for that. But I kind of, again, like with the first Iron Man, I wanted a 50-50 thing, But I get it. This is basically him, like where he needs to get his shit together, and then when the time's right, he can get his power back, and it's a good setup. And so seeing it again, I appreciated the development a lot more, and now I appreciate it a hell of a lot more than I did when I first watched it. And yeah, I mean, it has good humor, and Asgard looks awesome, and where the Frost Giants are at, I mean, that looks awesome too, and the Rainbow Bridge is magnificent and everything. And oh man, and then we get the end credit scene, and where we see the first Infinity Stone, the Tesseract, and it just sort of see that Loki did not die. Like when he fought Thor, and we saw him falling into an abyss, and then we see that he basically survived, and yeah, I mean he's basically one of the best villains in Phase One in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, if not in Phase One. You know what I mean? And but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed this movie, and with that all being said, I say this deserves 4 chair spins out of 5. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 chair spins. And by the way, I do love how they, reference the Incredible Hulk as the pioneer of gamma radiation. I mean, like Bruce Banner, and we see Agent Coulson and Nick Fury, like we did in Iron Man. This is where Agent Coulson is starting to grow on me, because in the first Iron Man movie, I was like, he's kind of an obnoxious dork, and then in Iron Man 2, I started to like him a little bit. Okay, I mean, you don't seem like a tool. You seem like a likable character, and here he just tickles me every time he's on screen. So yeah, I mean, it's just fun to watch. And the introduction to Hawkeye. For the first time we see Hawkeye ever in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I almost forget that. As many times as I've seen that, I'm like, oh yeah, this is Hawkeye's introduction. And I almost forgot that. It's like, oh yeah, this is the first time we see him. So even if it is for like 2 minutes or whatever. But yeah. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed my review for Thor, make sure you thumb up the video. Click subscribe if you're a newbie to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video, which is the review for Captain America, the First Avenger. So until then, peace out, y'all.